Hey Lucy, have you ever heard those wild claims about learning English or really any language while you sleep? Like you just put on some audio lessons and wake up fluent? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, Jane, absolutely. I actually saw an ad for something like that just the other day, and my first thought was, is this real life? The idea of improving my English without any effort, just by snoozing, is incredibly tempting, but deep down, I'm always a bit skeptical, you know?
Right? It's the ultimate dream, isn't it? Imagine all the time we'd save. But let's be real, if it were that easy, wouldn't everyone be bilingual by now? I mean, we'd all just be popping on our headphones before bed and waking up speaking a new language.
Exactly. And yet here we are, still actively studying, practicing, and sometimes, let's be honest, struggling a bit. So what's the actual science behind all this? Because I know sleep is important for learning. Just maybe not in the download a language into your brain kind of way.
You hit on a really crucial point there, Lucy. Sleep is incredibly important for learning, but it's more about solidifying what you've already learned, not magically injecting new information. Think of it like this. When you study new vocabulary or grammar during the day, your brain works hard to process and store that information.
Okay, so like your brain is doing its filing and organizing while you're catching Z's. It's not taking new files off the shelf and putting them in, it's just tidying up the ones already there.
Precisely. Your brain strengthens those neural connections, essentially cementing what you learned while you were awake. So, a good night's sleep after a study session is vital for memory retention, but that's a world away from passively listening to a lesson and expecting to absorb it from scratch.
That makes so much sense. I remember cramming for exams in college, and sometimes I'd pull an all-nighter, only to find I couldn't recall half of what I'd learned. I bet if I'd gotten some sleep, it would have been a different story.
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there with the all-nighters. And when it comes to language learning, it's the same principle. You need that active engagement first. So, while listening to English audio while you sleep might help your brain become a little more familiar with the sounds and rhythms of the language, it's not going to make you fluent overnight.
So it's like background noise almost. Your brain might pick up on the intonation or the general flow, but it's not actually decoding meaning or building vocabulary in a meaningful way.
Exactly. Think about when you have the TV on in the background, set to a channel you don't really care about. You hear the sounds, maybe a few words register, but you're not actively following the plot or absorbing information. It's passive exposure, and passive exposure, while it has its place, can't replace active learning.
That's a really good analogy. So what does active learning truly mean in the context of language acquisition? Because I think sometimes people confuse just being around the language with actually learning it.
Great question. To truly learn English, you have to actively engage with it. That means listening consciously, speaking, reading, and writing, all while you're awake and focused. It's about participation, not just reception.
So instead of hoping my sleeping brain will do the work, I should be doing flashcards, having conversations, writing emails, reading books, all the stuff that actually feels like work.
Precisely. And you know, a more effective strategy, one that actually leverages the power of sleep, is to study English before going to bed. Review your vocabulary, read a short article, or listen to a challenging lesson. Really engage with it.
So you're giving your brain the files to sort through and organize during the night. That makes so much more sense. It's like you're setting it up for success.
Exactly. You feed your brain the information when it's alert and ready to process, and then you let sleep do its magic by consolidating that information. This combination of active learning and quality rest is what really improves memory retention.
I'm already thinking about how I can adjust my routine. Instead of mindlessly scrolling before bed, maybe I can dedicate 15-20 minutes to active English practice. It feels much more productive.
It definitely is. And here's another thing. While passive listening isn't a substitute for active learning, there's still a place for listening to gentle English stories or conversations before falling asleep. Not to learn new grammar structures, but to create a relaxing learning environment.
Oh, like for immersion, to just get used to the sound of the language without the pressure of having to understand every single word?
Exactly. It can reinforce your exposure to English and keep the language in your mind in a very gentle way. It's a nice supplement, something that adds to your overall immersion, but it absolutely should not be viewed as a replacement for regular, focused practice.
So if I'm listening to a calming English podcast as I drift off, it's more about comfort and familiarity than actual structured learning.
Spot on. It's like listening to calming music. It sets a mood. For language, it keeps the auditory pathways engaged without the stress of active comprehension. It's good for background familiarization, especially with rhythm and intonation, but it won't teach you complex sentence structures from scratch.
I appreciate the clarity because honestly, with all the hype out there, it's easy to get confused. Everyone's looking for the magic bullet, aren't they?
We definitely are. But the truth, as it often is much simpler and requires a bit more effort. Sleep supports learning, but it doesn't do the learning for you. That responsibility falls squarely on our awake selves.
Which means consistency is key, right? Daily practice, even if it's just short bursts combined with really good sleep habits.
Absolutely. That combination, consistent active daily practice and healthy restorative sleep, that's the real secret to improving your English skills and achieving long-term fluency. There are no shortcuts, but there are definitely smart cuts.
Smart cuts, I like that. It's empowering, actually. Knowing that my efforts during the day are what count and that sleep is there to help seal the deal makes me feel more motivated. It's not about wishing for a miracle, it's about strategic action.
Exactly. And it takes the pressure off. You don't have to feel like you're missing out if you're not trying to sleep learn. Instead, you can focus on building solid study habits and prioritizing good sleep as part of your overall learning strategy.
So, to sum it up, active engagement while awake, followed by good quality sleep to cement that learning. And if you want to unwind, a gentle English audio is fine, but don't expect it to teach you conjugations.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Lucy. It's all about working with your brain, not trying to trick it. So let's keep those active study sessions going and make sure we're getting our beauty sleep to help those new English words stick.
Agreed. And for anyone listening, don't fall for the learn while you sleep gimmick if it promises fluency without effort. Invest in active learning, get good sleep, and you'll see real progress. Thanks for clearing that up, Jane.
My pleasure, Lucy. It was a really important topic to tackle. Until next time, keep learning, keep practicing, and get that quality sleep.